Rhett was talking about Evan Bouchard just before you got on. He's one of those polarizing defensemen. Incredible offensive instincts and a guy that you're just left scratching your head sometimes at the mistakes, the D zone.
They're beauties yesterday.
And he's got 4 years. He's got his new deal from the Oilers, and look, this team will be measured in the spring, not now. But like, it's an interesting talk point. They lose to the Islanders last night.
Well, look, I know people who watch that game very, very closely, and it's up there. It's up there with one of the worst showings in a long, long time. And I think what frustrates people from time to time, probably fans more than anything, is how calm Bouchard can be when he's making those colossal mistakes, right? It's almost like, okay, well, stuff happens. I'll be better next shift. And then, no, you're not better the next shift. And it was just a calamity of errors last night for Evan Bouchard for the Oilers. I mean, but again, in fairness, you do measure the body of the work. He's one of those players that seems to attract more negativity, but when he's playing and when he's going, man, he is just lights out good, especially offensively. The problem with his resume is, his blunders defensively are just next level. They're next level. And that was one of those last night. And with all due respect, I mean, Evan Bouchard obviously is in the Olympic conversation. For sure he would be and deserves to be. But how many games like that can you put together early in the season before management of Canada goes, ooh?
Can I jump in on that? Because I don't think there's any way you can take him to the Olympics. And I'm not saying that because you can't run the risk in a one-game scenario where this guy turns the puck over just haphazardly. And I get how good he is. But there's too many other good players as good that don't do that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
It kind of feels like PK Subban to me a bit. Like, this was a very, very high ceiling offensive guy, but they just wondered about, like, geez, like, is there too much risk in terms of the defensive
You don't
play?
need his offensive upside doesn't override his mistakes in that type of scenario.
No.
The Oilers, and when you're doing an 82-game season, and absolutely. In a short tournament, no way.
No, and then you're not going to take him primarily for the power play, for that big shot from the point, because you have other players who are terrific power play quarterbacks in the NHL. Yeah, of course, of course. And how much time is he going to get, on that power play anyway? I mean, it's. I recall as we're having this conversation back to 2010, and a lot has changed since then, but that was Yzerman and Babcock, and their design of Team Canada going into Vancouver was not, hey, we need to flood our roster full of players who are going to be game breakers and outscore our mistakes. It was exactly the opposite. And you look up front, all the centermen that they had on that team. Right. But more importantly, their philosophy going in, and maybe it was a mistake, but hey, Crosby scored the golden goal and it worked out well in the end, was we're fine with winning a 2-1 hockey game. We're good with that. We need to be able to defend, keep the puck out of our net, and get the greasy and timely goals when we need that. So I think that speaks to the Canadian roster in many different forms, but doesn't bode well for guys like Evan Bouchard.
Hey, buddies, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Also, if you could throw in a like and subscribe, it does help us out with what it is we are doing. And check out more at flamesnation.ca.